Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. SeKo Starcraft presents a pro level replay to watch. Got Ryung. This is Mana. I haven't seen much of Ryung in a while. That's why I really wanted to cast this game. He was somebody that I actually really enjoyed watching a while back, but I haven't been following him much of late. So this is for the Teamstory Cup. He's going up against Mousesporce Mana. One of the best foreign Protosses, I think. He's really good. I enjoy watching him quite a bit. And so we're going to bring up the production tab. I'm going to use this as a bit of an opportunity to have a little bit of fun. I know I really go after these games from a really educational standpoint when I'm casting my own. But in this case, we actually have people that are really good at the game. So maybe this will be a little bit easier for me to pick up some things that I think are important. And then obviously incorporate those into, my play or somebody else's. Particularly as I'm thinking about getting a little bit better at Protoss, just personally. Like, I think I want to really get that up a little bit higher. Looks from this standpoint, if I'm going to be seeing a Nexus first, I think that's what we're going to be seeing over here. I mean, it's just straight probes, money starting to pile up. Wait, nope, getting to get a gateway. On this side, maybe we're going to have a command center first. I was actually really anticipating these guys being able to go one of those things first. Looking for a quick proxy, always a smart thing to do. This is when the barracks would be going down, so if it was going to be something like that, it would happen really fast. And if you build the barracks down here, well, you bought, that much more time. It's just really crappy if somebody proxies right inside of your natural. We do see the command center first, but it's inside the base. I really like this because, obviously, as a Protoss, one of the funnest things to do is go harass early on. So if you build this on the low ground, it would be really tough to defend. So I actually like that a lot. We're getting double gas going down right away as well. So it looks like this is going to be actually some sort of really aggressive push. So that's going to take up a lot of his workers. Oh, no, he canceled them all just to be able to... What? That's interesting. I wonder if he was hoping to be scouted. That's really crazy. Anyways, chasing the probe around just to make sure that obviously... he did try to attack the worker on this. Barracks and barracks. Alright. I'm interested. I guess he went for the 2 gas first to see if there was a command center. If there wasn't a command center, then he was probably going to be able to need those gases to defend himself against some sort of early pressure. But seeing the command center first, he cancels off those gases because he knows he can safely expand as well. And if you see that your opponent is expanding and you're not expanding, you better have a good plan to go do some damage, because if they get their expansion up and start making money from it, they're going to have a huge lead over you at a period of time. And in this case, I mean, his cybernetic score is quite delayed, so it's going to be a while before warp gate's up. That probe's still around here checking things out. It's going to get him in time. He does. Without any micro, that probe lost almost all of its base health, so that's pretty easy. 3 racks after command center. So we still might see some early pressure out of Ryung here coming in. Wouldn't be any type of bunker pressure, maybe like 8 to 10 Marines, I think would be a really good way to go do it. Because the most his opponent's really going to have up at this time, I figured, would be to maybe be a couple of Zealots or a couple of Stalkers. Taking out the rocks in the front, which everybody does. Cool thing to do right now. And we're going to go straight back into pro production. Command center down, starting to produce the SCVs. And we've got all the Marines at the front. This guy got out alive, just fine. Well, you just see the first gas getting finished up, and the people are just running into that for the first time. The second one's just finishing up now. Lots of Marines going out. Scouting for pylons. I think it'd be better to scout for pylons with a, actual attacker. If you use a Marine or something like that, that means you're going to do some damage to the pylon. But obviously the SV is faster, so it can get away from stuff. But it's not faster than a Stalker. So, pretty much if you see a Stalker when you're scouting, it's essentially good as dead. Stalker is one of the fastest units in the game before upgrades kick in, on the ground. So, going out, checking the watchtower. He's getting a stim pack first. I guess they had to pause there for a second. Still 2 workers at a time. There's a supply block right now for Mana, which is actually pretty crazy, building 2 pylons immediately to be able to help get that up. If we look at the units tab, obviously a bit of a lead for the Protoss with a chrono boost, but having the double mules means that the income lead is actually for the Terran. Go Terran. A couple more supply depots on this side, because Ryung gets supply blocked as well, but not for very long. Running his workers home. We have the mothership core out. Just a great thing to have early on regardless. So we're going to be going up to 2 more gateways. Robo for the observer. Pretty hands-off game for the first bit. Oh, I'm about to see a Stargate, I think, there. It is a Stargate. So we'll see if that's maybe to put out a slightly delayed Oracle. I mean, if you're going to go for an Oracle harass, it would pretty much be there by now and be doing damage. Sometimes going for a delayed Oracle, just like going for a delayed Banshee, is a great way to catch people off guard, because you would expect to have seen a Banshee by now, for instance, but because you haven't, you can usually safely assume that they're not going to go Banshee. Starport coming up, building the reactor on that to swap with the starport. Still producing 2 SCVs at a time, non-stop. I like it. Got the 3rd gas up. Building the missile turret at the front, just so you don't lose to anything stupid like a Dark Templar. But this is also really, really important if they are going to go for an Oracle bust. I see it a lot on the ladder against, you know, 1 base Protoss. You get out a couple of Oracles, maybe a handful of Zealots and Stalkers, and go bust the front, because the Oracles cut through the Marines so fast. But having a missile turret in there obviously shoots down those things pretty fast. Got that watchtower. He's got that watchtower. What did we have? Oh, that's just a probe going around to drop a pylon, it looks like, on that side. But what's coming out? It is Oracles. I'm right. So it looks like it's going to be going for some sort of coordinated Oracle bust at the front. Quite a bit of Marines right now, though. Medevac's coming out. Nothing but Marines. It's interesting that there is no Marauder tech at this point. That must have been a probe. It could have been a probe. I didn't... Oh, yeah, it's an observer. You got in too close to the missile turret there. That's pretty slick. That's always nice when that happens. Colossus coming out. +1 attack. We have +1, actually, more than halfway done now for Ryung, which is great. Double drop heading out. Ooh, interesting. This probe might actually pay off quite well. Oh, so he's going to go for a split-up Oracle harass here on both sides. Let's see how well he coordinates that. Scouting factory. Is he going to see this? No, it does not look like he sees this. This pylon will see it, though. Doesn't look like there's any reaction. Scan at the front, the army's at the back. Doesn't look like there's any reaction out of, yeah. Now he's moving back in with his army. He sees, obviously, the drop. This is enough units to deal with that drop. Oh, particularly with that Colossus out. But because there's almost no stalkers in here, it's pretty safe to get away with your army from that. He's going to go down here and take out this pylon. The Oracles are just coming in. I almost missed that. Got that one away. This one, however, up to 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills. Is he going to get it in time? No, he's not. And that gets away. Oh, that's a nice snipe. Took out the SCV making that at home. Workers heading back home. It'd be nice to probably throw down a missile turret at each one, just to be sure. Because Oracles can kill so much so fast. It's really sucky when that happens. That's kind of cute. Blocks, obviously, the base going down, and does get the probe as well. That's pretty fantastic. So supplies are still very even. I mean, this 3rd base is already down for Ryung, so he's obviously going to have that opportunity to move a little bit faster. Starting to produce Vikings now to deal with the Colossus. How many Colossus do we have? We only have 1 out right now, the 2nd on the way. Most of his army back home at his base right now to stop drops. Stop drops and rolls. Not too sure what these guys are out here. I think they're just trying to scout for Oracles. Down goes 1 missile turret. Not worrying about that base. Missile turret there. So that's pretty safe. Oracle returning home. Pretty hands-off at this point. I mean, they're both going for their ideal compositions. You need some sort of area of effect damage, so the Colossus are out are fine. I mean, if you've got the money, sometimes it's nice just to throw down the Templar Archive so you can move into Storm if you need to. I'm interested to see when the actual push is going to happen. I mean, the supplies are still very even. And Thermal Lance is going to be done here pretty soon. Using up all of his Chrono Boost, which is good. Now his army's a little bit split up, so he's going to have to see this coming. He does that scan, I believe, to try to throw off the Protoss army. and to see if there's anything in there. If it's open, go for the drop, but sometimes if you scout, if you see that person, if you see a person scan there, it's a pretty safe bet that that's where they're going to drop. So, oh, it's fly block. That's pretty shitty. Great position on the Vikings right there. It loses one of them. Let's see. No, it's not going to do that. So that was an okay attack. I mean, I didn't end up doing a lot of damage. Put him out of position pretty good and almost got something really good out of it. So this is really out in the open. I don't know if I agree with this from Mana. He does have a really good army in the force fields. But being this out in the open here is really kind of giving the Terran the advantage of the concave. Mothership core is down. Well, it looks like Mana's probably going to clean this up. Ryung does get out of there, but he does have the supply lead as well. Not anymore, he doesn't. This would be funny to land and just drop a Widow Mine or something. That'd be kind of cute. Oh, excuse me. So we did take out the Colossus, which is a win. But now he's just going into charge. His upgrades are on the way. 2-2's just started. Whereas +3 is just started for... that's +3 armor. Wow. That's quite the upgrade lead for Mana there. So that's pretty good for him. Chasing the factory away. I don't think he's going to get it to burn. No, that's fine. So I thought Ryung was in a great spot, but being that far behind on upgrades... and he doesn't have ghosts out yet either. Not to say the ghosts are the best against Colossus, but if you do manage to hit some really, really good EMPs on this big Zealot ball, I mean, you're going to kill off half their lives. And that's really important. So it looks like he's just feigning some aggression across the map, just enough to try to throw off his opponent. Let's look at the units tab right now. We've got 66 workers to 69. And there's still being more units produced right now for Ryung. Now the command center, lots of upgrades. Templar are out, so he managed to get that down. And once Storm is finished, I think their ball's really going to be in Mana's court. Ryung's going to have to hit some really, really sick EMPs and snipes. Because this army is just too killer. The fully upgraded charge lots, Storms, only one Colossus. You see, he's not really getting back into more of that, whereas he, as Ryung's still making 3 Vikings at a time. Brilliant tech switch. I love seeing that happen. Because those Vikings, once the Colossus go down, are essentially useless. Good sized army. Storm's not quite done, but all of these guys are going to have enough energy to drop a Storm. That's a nice little snag there. Great little snag. I'm really loving how Mana's playing this year. This is the first time he's really crossed this side of the map, the whole game, as well. Using those blinks, try to pick off medevacs where you can. +3 is about to finish up. Another big swell of charge lots going to join in, and the oracles are here as well. Those will probably die off pretty fast. This might not be the best position right now. That's a bad storm. This might not be the best position for Mana. But his composition is so good. He's just going to crush face in here. Look at these guys are misrallied over here. They're just getting killed off. That's a great spot at the top of the ramp. But if you look at the damage that Mana's already done, like he could lose a lot of his army here and fall back and still be in a good spot. Archons are about to finish up. They get target down pretty fast. Blink behind the Starkers. Behind the Zealots. That's really smart. Oh, that's good copy. Now, I don't think this might not be enough stuff to win right now. Behind this, what would probably be good is if he threw down another big pile of gateways. Because I don't think he has that many. I think he GGs and leaves. But he's only sitting on 11 gateways. Maybe to get a 4th base and some more stuff. I'm sure he was very confident in winning this battle, particularly with the upgrades he had. But behind this, if he lost his army, he would really remax faster if he had a bit more production. Anyways, I thought that was a really, really great game by Mana. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we'll be back here next time with some more pro level replays.